I talked to her about maybe changing it to Wednesday because we don't have crew on Tuesdays. But she's not doing it this weekend.
Okay, so thank you, Wes. I didn't realize that.
On Wednesdays, at least I've got Anna after 12:30.
Watch me do that thing you like.
I don't know if I got any more crew on Wednesdays.
Love it how I bring that wine. Love it when you bring them wine. Wine like a belly dancer. 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 I know what you like, babe. I got you on my size, babe. You don't gotta fight, 'cause I'm single for the night, baby. When I move. You love the way that I do it. When I whine,
This girl's coming in on the 8th.
hypnotized to the music.
girl?
My hips are
She never
assassins.
confirmed.
It's a fatal
I never heard back
attraction.
from her.
When the strobe lights are flashing, get so caught up in passion. On my hips in rotation, feel your heartbeat, it's racing. Touch my body, temptation. Yeah, I love the sensation. Watch me do that thing you like.
I'm trying to change my picture on here.
Love it how I grind that wine. Love it when you grind them wine. Wine like a belly dancer. Wine like a belly dancer.
Are they changed?
Wine like a belly dancer. Wine like a belly dancer. I know that you feel the
Seems like
rush.
Facebook changed the platform
Can you
again.
feel the lust when
Yeah,
our
some of them.
bodies touch? I can be your crush of me. Take control, make me feel beautiful. Touch me, caress
Yeah,
me,
that's what you are right
make me feel sexy.
What you are
Use
right
me,
now.
consume me, pursue me, seduce me. I move.
probably
You love the
dances
way that
now.
I do it. Slow wine, slow wine, hypnotized to the music. Watch me do that thing you like. Watch you do that thing I like. Love it how I grind that wine. Love it when you
good?
grind them wine. Wine like a belly dancer.
Believe this
Wine
video?
like a belly dancer. Wine like
This
a
has
belly
over
dancer.
2.5 million
Wine
hits.
like a belly dancer.
What's her name?
Gabby B.
Gabby B.
That's Kendra. Hope these mics are muted, guys.
Wine like a belly dancer. Wine like a belly dancer. Wine like a belly dancer. Wine like a belly dancer.
I think I got lost at the dollar store.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show
That's
is
the
over,
close.
the Broken Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from
That's
12
the close.
If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S will bring you more good cheer next time.
Is the show over?
I don't know.
Is the show over?
That was the close, but okay. We'll replace that with the intro next time.
And don't be late.
And don't be late. What? Great show. Are we done now?
We're done. There's nothing else to do.
Oh man, happy Monday to you. It is definitely one of those Mondays, is all I can tell you.
I'm
It is a Monday. It is a Monday, Mercury Retrograde kind of Monday, is all I can tell you, everyone. Happy Monday to you. How you doing over there? Just do your thing.
People are asking if they missed the show.
Yeah, you kind of missed the show. And we got Anna, we got Jeremy on the board. Apparently Slick and Alana must have gotten lost at the dollar store
I
because they've
know.
been gone for an hour and a half.
I know, it's a
How long does it
15-minute
take to buy
drive.
cobwebs?
15 minutes.
I'm not quite sure about that.
They had to get the spiders.
I don't know what they're doing, so we'll see when they get back.
Where
and
did you
see what's
send
going
them?
on. Just the dollar store.
The one up the street?
Yes,
That's 10 minutes from here?
yes. They
It's
left
hour and a
before-
half?
They left before Brazil TV. It's going on 2 hours, I think. Got to see how they're doing over there. Anyway, happy Monday, everyone. We got Anna running the board. We've got some great surprises coming to you today. Busy morning.
We got to take
take some notes
Some notes.
on your giant coffee-stained notepad. This is such a cool piece of art. Our very good friend Stacey Mandell came in today and she brought us some spectacular new pieces of art. This is amazing. This is like the original stenograph pad with, you gotta love the coffee stain on it, Freddie. That's so us.
It's so me.
And she said we can write our words of inspiration on there and she'll put them in shorthand.
Now, is this piece for sale?
Yeah.
Is this for sale?
Everything's for sale.
So how in the world are we going to put our sayings? Well, I guess we could. Like, where the hell is Slick?
Where's Slick and Alana? What would you say? I know what you would say. What would you say, though?
What do you mean you know what I would say?
I think I know what you would say. What would you say?
About? Don't be late. Welcome,
Hi,
welcome,
Eileen.
welcome.
Welcome. Don't be late. Random Acts of Kindness Monday is what today is.
You guys took me to school this morning.
We did?
Yes, because you call Slick an act of kindness.
He does do random acts of kindness.
So he showed up at 10:30. He left 5 minutes later and he hasn't been back. So
I
this
know.
is some act of kindness.
But we've got Anna running the board. We've got Jeremy on sound. We've got Stacey, and she brought us some great surprises. So this morning we were talking about random acts of kindness and what that means. We talked about Jane Goodall is doing, she's asking people to plant trees. What do random acts of kindness look like? And just as we were finishing up on that and getting our AC fixed, Stacey brings us a very long time friend that we haven't seen in a really long time. She brought Harry with her. So we're going to bring Stacey and Harry over and some spectacular new artwork pieces that we asked her to bring some over. And not only did she bring some oldies, but she created some new ones for us, which
Which are very meaningful.
Oh my
A lot
gosh.
of meaning to these pieces.
leaves me speechless. That's all I can tell you.
That's good stuff, man.
How
I
was your
tell you.
weekend? How are you feeling?
I'm tired.
What do you do on the weekends?
Pick on me.
You're having a rough morning, I see. I know.
I'm not having a rough morning. I'm just like chilling, relaxing.
That's good. Feet
And
up,
sleep.
kind of relax. Oh, that's right. You didn't sleep last night. That's what's
right.
going
So
on.
I may and take a little nappy.
Take a little nap. We've got Geo watching over us. You've got a new AMP website. When is that being released?
It was released. My son has decided to go like CBS, ABC, NBC, their websites with the shows, like everything else, you can link into them, but then becomes a magazine spread. And it talks about Boca, it talks about the publish of the Cafe Press, all the nuances that go into that. It talks about Comcast, it talks about fishing, it talks about restaurants,
Talks about butter.
it talks about butter.
Butter.
It talks about a lot of butter, but it talks about different things. So the artists are gonna have their own section in there as well, talking about what they go through to be inspired. Like I found out our friend over here has a new way of getting inspired, which I highly recommend. But
A bottle of inspiration.
a bottle of inspiration. But these things are all part of that website. So it's a little bit different. It's like a magazine website delivery system.
You got to check it out because it's incredible. It's amp2.tv. You'll see everything there. You'll see a little snippet clip of our butter segment. We still have butter in the back. Everything tastes better with butter, I guess.
Did he do that snippet or did you? Or the butter?
He did it. Did I? No.
I don't know, because you and him, you share a brain sometimes. I get totally confused.
Yes, our email blast is going out, so you can host your own TV and radio show. So that should be going out probably tomorrow. So check your inboxes for our September email blast. But I got to get over and talk to Stacey because.
But before you do
Yes.
that, I want to thank Tracy from the Hard Rock.
Oh, okay.
I went down to New York Yankee restaurant.
Oh, very nice.
And I want to thank because what I didn't know is when you register your car so that you can have the dinner, her name pops up all over the place. And they give you a little cheer and what have you. They thought I was going to gamble and I ran out of there because I'm going to tell you, it was hopping, the gambling floor. But anyway, I want to thank her for offering that gift and I went and I used it and it's fantastic.
Very nice. Seminole Hard Rock Casino, so check it out. One of the finest steakhouses in our area. NYY. Did you get a steak?
Yes, I did.
How was it?
Kind of scary.
Big?
Oh my God. It was 2.5 inches this way and about 6 inches this way.
Did you finish it?
No, I took a piece and took it home. It's a monster. But all their steaks are a monster. They got the butcher at the front when you walk in, and he's there with the big hat, and he's cutting up a slab of beef. So, of course, Linda goes over, what's the difference between this and this? And the guy says, oh, I got an audience. So he cleaned his hands, and he went to town, and he explained every part.
Very nice.
And the way they cut it and everything else.
Very
I thought he was
nice.
going to say, would you care to cut a piece of meat? Ay,
Very nice. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
it was very nice. So I want to thank Tracy
Tracy
for doing it.
Latome from Seminole Hard Rock Casino in Coconut Creek. So a lot of changes. You know, today hits Mercury Retrograde, so we got
Please.
3 weeks of, all I can tell you is we walked into no AC today, so we know exactly what Mercury Retrograde is going to do. But then we had Vivi come in, and hopefully we're feng shuiing things enough that we should be good to balance some things out. But nothing balances it out than some new artwork.
I'm going to hope that that is the balancing, because it feels more tranquil.
Does it?
But it always feels this way when she comes in here.
Because these pieces, oh, look at all these people writing in. Oh, my goodness. Couldn't connect from, she's watching Belly Dancer. This is Crystal Jules. Very nice. Random acts of kindness. Yes, Eileen. This is what it's about. Mandy, good day. Mandy, loving my contour, by the way. Have you noticed a change in my cheeks? This is from the Queen Beauty palette. You like it? Stacey's like shaking her head, yes.
We
This
have.
makeup
Why are
line-
you shaking your head? You don't even know what that they're talking
Harry
about.
likes it too.
You like Harry?
Yeah. Harry goes, yeah. Mandy, but I'm loving the palette. You know, it's a toss-up between bringing it here and keeping it at my house. But I realized for the price of the palette, I can have two because her prices are so incredible.
When do those prices never change?
I don't know, but really amazing.
They're
I love the
amazing.
colors.
It's
Everything's
amazing.
all in one for the Queen palette. Anyway, let's bring over Stacey and Harry. Let's check in with our guest for today. How are you guys doing?
Just fine, thank you.
We're fabulous.
I am so excited to have you here. Stacey stopped by last week. We had been a minute, as they say, having
Yes.
to see you.
Yes, thank
And
you.
today you're like whew, revitalized.
Yeah, you know, day by day. You know, my husband passed months ago, and so every day is a new day. And seeing you just last week just made everything feel so good, and it really warmed my heart. And it gave me inspiration.
Oh, well, Stacey is amazing. We've known Stacey for years, since we were up in Delray. And we said on Monday, bring in some artwork. Let's spotlight some of your pieces. And I know you're working on a new Constitution line.
Yes. Constitution line and other historic speeches from Abraham Lincoln and other notable speeches, including Frederick Douglass, and also Salvation Army, the founder of the Salvation Army. I'm doing a piece for that. And every day brings me new inspiration to work on new projects. And in between my projects, I'll also take on a commission here and there. And but being an attorney for 20 years, the legal side is always a part of me too. It's still a part of me, and that's why I did another Constitution. But I forgot to bring a photo of it for you. So
Let's talk about your artwork, though. It's unique. So when you
Yes.
say Constitution, it's not what you think. It's not like you're going to read the U.S. Constitution
No.
in English.
no, it's text-based, but it's in this universal writing system of long ago called shorthand. It's a pen stenography that court reporters used to do in court, and then they would transcribe it by typing it. And I learned it as a secretary, and then as a legal secretary. When I went to law school, I used shorthand to take all of my notes, and then I would transcribe them. Because back in the day, the law professors wouldn't allow you to bring in recording equipment to record their lectures. And I thought, I don't need that. I can just write it out in shorthand. And that's what I did. So I was so ingrained with it that when we moved here, all of these ideas were in my head, and it was all about shorthand. And it's just a medium that I love.
They don't use shorthand in the legal system anymore?
No, with the advent of technology and computers, it's not just obsolete, but it's almost extinct. And, but for me and a few others who love writing in shorthand, there's just not that many of us around anymore. But I love it, and I decided to create art because I do believe that shorthand is art. It's an art form, and it should not be forgotten.
It's just amazing what she's created. And this piece, you brought us quite a few pieces. I don't want to mess up Freddie's set, which I just did here. This says, number 1, coded language, Saul Williams. What is this piece?
Okay, so that piece is actually inspirational quotes. Saul Williams is a humanitarian. He's an intellectual, and he is a wonderful person. He was also a poet. He's written books on poetry. He's also an actor, and right now, one of his films called Neptune Frost is showing at film festivals in Toronto and in New York, and he's also an actor in commercials. His most recent campaign was for Louis Vuitton, and he gave me permission to transcribe his works. And these two pieces are from a poem called Coded Language, in which he essentially encourages all of us to dig a little bit deeper into our knowledge of historic people from all walks of life. And those are inspirational sayings from many of the people he referenced. And so I transcribed them into shorthand. I did a whole series of his works, of his poetry, and even one of his albums called Amethyst Rockstar. And I transcribed all the lyrics from that. I had a show a year ago at the Ben Hotel in West Palm Beach where those pieces were all exhibited, including the two that you have.
The writing and that it should not be forgotten. And you have taken over a skill, and not only is it not forgotten, you've taken it, you've turned into an art form.
Right, an abstract art form. What I love about the narrative abstraction of it is when you look at it, to me, you see it from far away, but even when you get close up, you see something new and different. And sometimes you are looking for the familiar in the unfamiliar. I love finding hearts. So I find myself staring at a piece for 15 minutes just looking for a heart in there, or looking for a face or an animal or anything like that. But you can just appreciate it too. It just depends on how deep you want to look at and appreciate the work.
I love your work, and she came in today with these two beautiful pieces behind us that leave me speechless. So from the bottom of my heart, I have to thank you, but I need you to describe to everyone what you created here.
Okay, so those two pieces right behind you were inspired last week after I was here, and everyone here was so fabulous, and I wanted to do something special, and the inspiration was from you, Dawn, and so these songs kept popping into my head, especially the one by Nina Simone. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, and I'm feeling good, because that's how being here made me feel. So I just had this little, what's it called, an earworm? in my head with that song, and I had to get it out. And so I thought, let me find the lyrics, and I transcribed them. And so it became A New Dawn. And the more I thought about that particular song, I thought about other songs, and with the word dawn in them. And one of them was Dan Fogelberg, who is a wonderful writer, and he wrote a song called The Sand and the Foam, about a beach, which also made me think about Florida. And that particular song starts out, dawn like an angel. And wow. It was just so obvious I needed to transcribe that one also. And so I transcribed a couple songs that all had dawn in it, and that was the result.
These are so beautiful. In a million years did I ever, actually as a speechless, expect anything like this. Not one, but two. And they're signed. That one says dawn like an angel. This one says A New Dawn, which is one of my all-time favorites, because I've heard it by Michael Bublé, which I love that song. But oh my gosh.
Pretty good
Stacey,
stuff.
It's going to make me cry. So thank you so much. And you brought Harry with you, which is another special treat. We haven't seen Harry, oh my gosh, maybe since we were at the deli?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Well, welcome to our new home, Harry.
Thank you. I'm just her bodyguard.
There you go. He's our bodyguard. Everyone needs a good bodyguard.
But he's a pretty good bodyguard, a World War II veteran. You can't get a much better bodyguard than that. He's seen it all, he's been through it all, and he survived it all. And we thank him for his service every day.
Thank you, dear.
I love you.
Since we've seen you, I think you went on that special flight with Harry, Stacey, didn't you?
We did. And it was an honor flight, which is awesome.
We were flown up with about 80 other veterans to Washington, D.C., and visited all the war memorials.
Wow. When was that?
It was
4 years ago?
And the best part of it was they had mail call, if anybody knows what that is, and about 500 young children from the ages of 4 to 10 sent us notes and messages beautifully.
It was so cute.
Have you done a piece, I am sure you have, on veterans and the importance of everything?
Oh, sure.
Many, I'm sure.
Yes, definitely. All of my gratitude pieces all reflect an appreciation of Harry and all of the other veterans and people who have served and sacrificed for us.
Again, if we don't remember, I think they keep telling me, Stacey, everything you do is about things that should not be forgotten.
Right.
And
exactly.
your work and your shorthand and Harry and being a veteran, being here with us today and everything that has transpired, you are both just incredible legacies.
Well, you know, the Rosetta Stone was discovered to explain hieroglyphics. I think the stone was written in 3 languages. And one of those languages, which was an old language, was read by somebody who knew that language. And we were able to unlock a lot of the things that you see in Egypt, which is, now they've turned it, you know, learn English by Rosetta Stone and all that, but the original Rosetta Stone was to teach us how to read hieroglyphics. And it was found, I don't know, I think they were it was buried somewhere. What I would like her to do is a Rosetta Stone, because you're right, you don't want to lose this art. And it's funny because the way things are today, the throwbacks, I'm glad they're coming forward with the throwbacks, because people have forgotten, but this is a particular different art. This is not something that unless you went to school to learn, you can pick it up. Like a guy could be a rapper, doesn't make him a rapper. This, you're either going to know it or you're not going to know it. You have to learn it. So you should do like a Rosetta Stone type of deal, but it has to be in 3 languages. So, and I think you can do that.
You got that right.
She got that.
Of course, of course.
And I think that that would be a very important piece of what's going on right now. So you don't forget this art. Now, you have some artworks somewhere up in West Palm, you were telling us?
They're in Palm Beach at the Brazilian Court, and Paul Fisher of Paul Fisher Galleries curates the art gallery at the Brazilian Court in Palm Beach. And so he has a number of my pieces there, and of course they're all for sale. He also curates a space down in Miami at the Ogeti building, and I have some work there also, some large-scale mural there. And I think those are the only places so far that I can remember right now.
And now they're going to be here. And now when Stacey
yes.
says large scale, I mean large scale. You've done installations I've seen down at Art Basel as well.
Yes, but none of the large-scale pieces have made it down there. My large-scale piece, I have one on paper. It's 9 feet by 16 feet, and that was shown in Miami at Miami-Dade College. I had a solo exhibition there. I also have a piece that's 7 feet by 14 feet, and that is an essay from Shelley saying the defense of a defense of poetry. And then another one was an album transcription called Amethyst Rockstar, and I did another large-scale piece of the Constitution and the 27 amendments, and that was 7 feet by 9.5 feet. And then I recently did a new Constitution of 5 feet by 7 feet. So I like doing large-scale works. I've got a lot to say, I guess.
I can't even write in a straight line without notebook paper. Yeah, you take these canvases 5 by 7, 17 by 9, and writes in a straight line.
Where are these big pieces?
Usually they get shown. The 7 foot by 14 foot Defense of Poetry and the larger Constitution were both in a home that in Palm Beach that's listed for sale. And so those two were a part of the home, and pretty awesome.
Now you did something, I want to say it was like near a waterfall down at a hotel in Miami. Didn't you do something outside?
Oh, right. That was an installation piece where there was a fountain, and I took a phrase, not in shorthand actually, it was in English, and it was a part of another wall installation, and it was, let's see, what does it say? I think we are all linked together by love and gratitude. And so I took the letters in large styrofoam blocks, and we started out the day with that floating in the water. And then during Art Basel, and over time, the letters would float around. People would come out and then create their own phrases or their names or something like that, and it was an art exhibition in and of itself. So I just started the exhibition by using that phrase, and then sure enough, everybody came together as participants at the fountain and created their own works of art.
Amazing.
Now, these big pieces are use paper canvas? Do you use canvas? Do you use material? Do you use...
Let's see. For the largest pieces, I use canvas. It's a linen canvas, so it's a little bit smoother than the regular canvas that you might buy elsewhere, but it really for me, it gives a better flow when I paint.
So it's material.
It's material, yeah. It's
So
linen.
like if I wanted to hang it up on the ceiling, you know,
jeez.
that comes down, it would work, wouldn't it?
Yes, of course.
So it would cover like these bay doors that you want to cover and take everything out in front of it away, and it just sits there hanging
Right.
in the wind.
Exactly.
And photo ops and people can see it.
Oh, sure.
I kind of like that.
And one of the favorite things that Stacey does is she did one note to my younger self. And
Yes.
that I'm going to create for my Studio D that I'm creating in my new house. Back bedroom, Studio D. So it's everything that I love. So
Exactly.
It'll be, so note to my younger self.
Just make sure you put a piece of mirror in this somewhere.
There'll be mirrors there too.
No, I mean on the painting itself, it needs a piece of mirror.
Yes.
Because we forget really easily that message sometimes.
But all the things that you would tell yourself, I'm sure you would have a note to your younger self as well. It's not just a woman thing.
No, it's an everything thing.
What would you tell your younger self, your 12-year-old Freddie?
I don't think I could use the verbiage. I would be a little bit
You can
picante.
use it.
Really?
Yeah, so get your head out of your...
Yeah.
You know, it's really funny. I worked really, really hard. I went to school when I was 12. I had straight A's in school when I was 12. I had a plan. So age 12 was not my turning point. I got bored easily is the problem. And it's funny because they tell me Pisces aren't the type that get bored. I get bored.
That's why everything's changing. Well, yes, you see around here.
By the constant.
And are you still putting Braille on your pictures?
Yes. So when Freddie mentioned I should have 3 languages, I already do that. I have shorthand, I have English, and I have Braille
Do you
on
remember
some of my pieces.
Remember we talked about that? We were sitting at a diner up in Delray, at
Yeah.
that 50s diner, and we met her for breakfast years
Ellie's.
ago. At Ellie's,
Yes.
right? And we talked about adding the Braille component to it.
Exactly.
Is-
So
is
I
that-
did.
Is there a for lack of a better word, an alphabet like an A to Z in shorthand?
It's phonetic. So it's not an alphabet per se, but rather a sound alphabet. So you have the sound A, the sound B, the sound C, which is actually the same as the sound S, and
But how do you
and
write it?
and also X and Z. And this, you know, so it's all phonetic, and there's also the sounds of like SH and CH, and the sound of G, which is actually a J sound, but the hard G is called a gay sound. And there's different strokes for each sound and punctuation.
So you have to be able to hear to do shorthand?
Yes.
You can't read lips.
Well, if I could read lips, then I could transcribe it, but I can't read lips, so I can't write
But if
what
you
someone
could,
is saying. But if I
it's-
could, sure.
Then you could write it.
It's
Right.
the sound.
It's amazing.
It's universal. I've written in Hebrew, I've written in Spanish, I've written in French and English, and that doesn't mean I know French, Spanish, or Hebrew, but it's phonetic. So it really is universal. And when I respond or read it back, I'm reading back in Hebrew, I'm reading back in Spanish, I'm reading back in French, and I have no idea what I'm saying because it's phonetic.
Wow.
So it really is a universal system of writing.
Cool. Wow. All based on phonetics. That would not do well with you.
No, she's from the Bronx. Nobody knows what they're talking about up there either. Wow, that's amazing though.
And it's more efficient than cursive writing because it's
Sound.
shorthand.
And how did you learn it?
I learned it when I was a secretary. It was my first job, and my future boss said, "Do you know shorthand?" And I said, "No, but I'm willing to learn." The company paid me to take individual lessons, and I loved it. And I started just transcribing on my own. I would watch TV and transcribe what the people were saying. And that's how I built my speed up so quickly. I went from 30 words a minute to 160 words a minute in a year because that's all I did, and I loved it. I was good.
It is so beautiful, and she's got such a beautiful soul. Let's take a commercial break. When we come back, we got to talk about what you used to do as an attorney, because people are sitting here thinking, she's an artist, how'd she come up with this? You have to fill in all the pieces to actually get a little glimpse into how amazing Stacey is. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The cafe doors are always open.
When your property suffers from water, mold, fire, or biohazard, you need a professional remediation company that is fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Rescue Clean 911 offer 24/7 emergency service with 1-hour response times now in your area. Water, mold, fire, biohazard. Call now 1-833-253-2699.
Handling the hard jobs with a soft touch.
Can experience Jay Harmon is if you come to the Gallery of Boca. Jay Harmon, an unconventional artist with a unique story behind every canvas.
Help get you there. Looking for a place to get your ice cream fix? Look no further than Cold Stone Creamery. At Cold Stone, we make our ice cream fresh every single day in store. We have over 20 different ice cream base flavors and over 30 different mix-ins to choose from. We also have plenty of signature creations if you don't want to go ahead and choose your own. To end your creation, you can put it in one of our freshly made waffles. We have ice cream cakes, ice cream sandwiches, milkshakes, smoothies, banana splits, sundaes, and so many other things for you to come check out and enjoy. We are the official ice cream store of the Brooklyn Cafe. Hope to see you soon, and remember, it's always a great day for ice cream.
Even though some things are far away, we plan for them ahead of time because they're important. When it comes to your celebration of life, it's really no different. You want to plan ahead now so your family doesn't have to later, and create a service that reflects your values, character, and traditions, no matter what they may be. At Dignity Memorial, we listen to every detail and make sure everyone is remembered.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Is that the open? And we're back.
It's kind of a quiet Monday, right? But yet not so much because there's angels flying all around here.
Well, there's all sorts of stuff going on. I'm going to tell you, you have to be very careful. Because when this retrograde thing starts, you know, I made the mistake one day of making fun of retrograde.
Yeah, I never do that.
And everything went sideways, including losing a camera, losing a computer. It went, so I stayed very quiet.
Do not mess with Mother Nature is
I
all
don't
I
say a
can tell
word,
you.
not a word.
But our set is, the crew left, they set the set and they left to go to the dollar store to buy decorations. When they came back, we've changed the set, and everything you see on set today, besides Geo, which is from Max Lazega, is created by Stacey Mandell, a longtime friend and an amazing artist But before you became an artist, you were a secretary turned attorney.
Yes.
So give us a little bit of background, your background.
Okay. Well, so yes, after college, I couldn't get a job in my field, which was fine. I became a secretary. I learned shorthand. I loved it. And when I was a legal secretary, sometimes you think, oh, I could do that. I could do that. And in the back of my mind, I'd always wanted to be a lawyer. And so I basically had a 5-year observation period of the lawyer I worked for, and I went for it. And I took the LSAT. I was accepted into a law school, and that's when I attended law school at Northern Illinois University in DeKalb. That's where I met my husband. He was the associate dean there. And after law school, we got married, and I began work as a law clerk, an appellate law clerk. And nobody really knows what that is, but essentially, I was a ghostwriter for an appellate court justice, where she would hear the cases on appeal, and I would research and draft the opinions under her name. And I was also essentially the historical bank of knowledge for her, because I worked for her for 20 years. And she would give me her impressions, and I would say, yes, I can write that, because I can write anything in an opinion, but I want you to know that there are 3 other opinions that we've done over the years where you have said something different. And I just want to make sure that you're aware of this and stand by what you're saying. So she also looked to me to be a bank of her opinions in my head. I trained other lawyers to work in our office, and also law students who wanted to become law clerks or just improve their writing skills. And so I did that for 20 years. But always in my head, I could hear and see visions of the shorthand as I was speaking. That was always in my head, but I needed food, water, and shelter first. And I loved the law. I loved working with the law, and I loved researching. I loved writing. And when we moved here 6 years ago, I became a full-time caregiver to my husband, who was paralyzed, and he had a spinal cord injury at his 6th and 7th cervical vertebra. And so I became his full-time caregiver, and I had to retire from the practice of law because in Florida there is no reciprocity, and I couldn't get away for 3 days to take the bar exam in Tampa. So having decided that I would no longer practice law, it allowed me, it gave me the freedom to try what had been going on in my head all of these years, and that was creating art using the shorthand. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to pick up a paintbrush. I'd never picked up a paintbrush before, and at that time I was 54 years old, and I took a class at the Boca Raton Museum Art School, and that's where it all began. They gave me the tools to figure out how to express what I saw, what I felt on the canvas.
So incredible. The story is so amazing. Can you imagine writing opinions of somebody else's opinions?
No,
It's like-
the part that gets to me is that the person she did that for may have changed their viewpoint on something, and she's keeping them on point. Says, well, I just want to remind you, you hit this, this, and this, so just stay constant. she's very constant. It's
historical
very
event.
difficult. You know, we always talk about being successful is the easy part. Staying successful is the hard part. So her being constant. It's funny, you run in circles of you're good at things that you didn't know you were good at. You know, it's like this prior life other person, and you're touching on things that you were great at one time, and here we go again.
Well, I'm just trying to be me. I'm trying to be authentic in what I do. And when I take on commissions for other people, I learn about them. So even if it's for somebody else, I'm still being authentic to who I am. If someone wants a portrait, they don't come to me. You know, I stay in my lane. If someone wants a landscape, it's not going to happen with me. What I do is I try to take who you are and create a visual representation of you through art and the words you say, phrases that are meaningful to you, anything that's meaningful to you. And so when you see the work, you know that it's coming from a true place, honest.
So
Well,
it's
you-
kind of a self-portrait of your words.
Yeah,
Like
but
these are,
your words still create a portrait.
yes,
They create a vision. They create a thought. And it's funny because I watched a lot of football over the weekend, and they went back to Black Lives Matter by putting slogans throughout the field, putting reminders throughout the field. There are in the end zones, in the back of the end zones, there are things everywhere. But it just goes to show you that if you keep your eye on the prize, if you are reminded of certain things, I think her art does that. And it makes you focus even harder because you may not see it, you have to sort of hear it, which is really strange because her art you hear. So when she reads it to you and tells you what it is, and there it is, then you sort of have to use more perception than just your eyes.
different visions. That you have visions of these words
Yes,
and the colors and the strokes.
yes. Yes, it's all in my head, and I'm just the vehicle to put it on the paper or put it on the canvas and hope that it comes out. And sometimes sometimes it doesn't always come out the way I see it, but that's okay. Sometimes it comes out better than the way I see it.
Right.
And I'm, the happy accidents.
Comes out exactly the way it should come out.
Sometimes it comes out the way somebody else visualized, and she was just the vessel.
So that right, the
get
conduit
there,
to
yeah.
get there and to do it.
Again, things of maybe other stages of her life coming forward.
Different gifts.
Mm-hmm.
So you married your associate dean of your law school.
Yes.
Wow, that's like wow. Imagine that.
I can
How was that?
Well, it's not like I was, 20 years old or anything like that. I went to law school as a non-traditional student. I was 30 years old. And he had a little piece of paper on a bulletin board saying, does anybody want to play ping pong? Contact the associate dean. And I thought, well, I went into his office and I said, are you any good? He's paralyzed and his fingers didn't work. And he said, well, I used to be. And I thought, well, I used to play ping pong with my dad when I was a child. So I said, well, I used to be good too. So I thought it worked out. And we just started playing and we had a great rapport. And it was just that natural. And it had nothing to do with law school. And it just worked out. We were terrific friends. And when I graduated, I invited him to dinner with my mother and my sister and some of my friends. And he said, sure. And so that was really a first date. And we were together ever since. We were married for more than almost 25 years. We spent in those 25 years, less than 10 nights apart from each other.
Wow.
And not too many people can say that. And we loved every minute of being together. It was just fabulous. I never laughed so much in my entire life. And it was just a joy to be married to him.
Really amazing. I think I got to meet him once or twice. Once at the art fair when I first met you.
Yes.
And then maybe another time you brought him maybe to the gallery or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, we probably were out and about, or one of, our visits. Definitely.
But
Yeah.
to be married so long and still be in love is a true testament to love of what it is.
We were married on New Year's Day. So New Year's Eve was always special. We just decided that the whole world was celebrating with us. And it was a big party around the world. And it was just a lot of fun.
And did you move here to be with Harry?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
He's looking at me. He goes, "What?"
Yes. when Lenny retired, he retired at 65 from the law school. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? We weren't thinking twice. And his sister, who's married to Harry, lives in Boca, and he had a brother, and his wife lived in Fort Lauderdale. His parents, when they were alive, lived in Lake Worth. And we decided, after all of this time, to come down and reestablish a family relationship. And we didn't regret a minute of it. And it was nice that they all lived in paradise. So that made it a lot easier to decide to come down to Boca.
And how many years younger are you, Harry?
How many years young? How many years young are you?
I'm 97.
God bless you.
Wow.
Pretty
He doesn't
remarkable,
look
Pretty
right?
remarkable, yeah.
How do you feel?
Fine.
Fine.
Nothing's wrong.
Probably feels better than we do.
I can see it.
I think he feels better than you do
I
today.
can see that too.
And how long have you been married?
31 years, I believe.
Is that all? 31?
That's all. I was a bachelor a long time.
You enjoy
That's
it?
why you're 97. Now it makes sense.
Right?
And I married the right one.
It makes sense too.
And that's Lenny's sister?
Lenny's sister, Carol, who's beautiful. Oh, my goodness.
Yes, she is.
Yes, beyond. I need to bring her in here, too.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. She's fabulous and loving and kind and a good wife
Smart.
and smart.
You guys are always
There
welcome
seems to be
here.
a lot of smarts over there.
I know. I'm kind of feeling like they should take over the show because you and I kind of just hang out and enjoy, and there are a lot of smarts going on
But
over
I
there.
mean, there's a whole lot of smartness going on in that circle over there. You know what I'm saying? This is bigger than jigsaw puzzles, bigger than doing those things. But I wanted to ask her, what do you want to do? What do you feel is on that bucket list that you always wanted to do?
Well, in my bucket list would, first of all, I want to show my work. I love it when people see the work. It's not about me. It's about the shorthand. It's about the art. So I love it when people see the work. Secondly, I think I would like to travel a little bit. Traveling with Lenny was a hardship. And when he was younger, before his accident, he spent a year in France, and he also spent a summer backpacking through Europe when he was younger. And he's been a lot of places, but I never really traveled so much. I was sheltered. I had a sheltered childhood. We didn't travel around very much. So I think I would like to do that and learn about other places. And I think that would bring my artwork to another level of it would be inspiration to my artwork and take it to another level, hopefully.
First place, what would it be?
First place, someplace in Europe, I think. Maybe France, because Lenny spent a year there, and I remember the stories he used to tell me about the places where he'd been and seen museums, and maybe sitting on a park bench with a baguette and a bottle of wine. He used to tell me that that's how he learned French, was he sat there on a bench and would just start talking to whoever was passing by. And, I found that interesting. And he was fluent in French. And so, a little bit of it is not just for me, but it's also everything I do now is a way of honoring Lenny and the relationship that we had for 25 years. And so I feel that that would be the first place I'd like to go.
France.
That's the next painting, a baguette and a bottle of wine. That'll be the
Exactly.
title.
And maybe in French, right?
Exactly. How cool would that be?
Made in
see?
France.
That's how inspiration happens. It's just in a conversation that we're having, and then it's in my head. Lenny also went to Woodstock, the real one, in, 1969? And so one of my series of paintings is about Lenny, and one of them will be the songs of Woodstock.
Oh, your brother would love that.
It's funny. My brother went too. I want to make the fake Woodstock down in South Miami, in the 5 acres down there. I caught Shepley's over the weekend. It's a throwback to remember those that went to Woodstock. I don't think he went to mud and stuff, but we'll see. The more the musicians and things of that nature. But there's a lot of great artists that came out of that one small, that turned gigantic thing. So maybe you hit France and all of a sudden you start visiting countries and producing the arts, and it changes your whole persona and your delivery. There's a lot to you that no one's ever seen yet.
But I haven't seen.
I tell you, it's
a lot of
interesting.
untapped inspiration. I see a lot, but there's not enough hours in a day to pull out everything. So you pick and choose what falls down that you're going to work on.
Interesting.
Well, I am so honored that not only did you come last week, that you came back this week and you brought Harry, and that you've created these pieces.
Yeah.
Leaves me just speechless. Truly amazing.
Well, it's the inspiration. Like I said, after I was here, I was just thinking about you and thinking about these songs that had the name Dawn in them, especially the Nina Simone song. And, whatever I was working on, nothing else mattered. I needed to do that at this moment, is work on those paintings. And so I did.
I love you, and I love these paintings. They're going to be spotlighted right here in the studio, so everyone can come. Stacey's got other pieces. She's going to be bringing them, so you'll get to see more, and commission pieces. So a lot more to come with Stacey. And Harry,
Sure.
you are always welcome to join us. Would love to meet your lovely wife.
I'll bring her.
Perfect.
I'll bring her.
Let's go to commercial break. When we come back, we got to check in with Slick and Alana, because they want a 2-hour tour to the dollar store. I feel like the 3-hour tour in Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island.
They're approaching 3 hours at the dollar store. So more to come. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits, a world where pirates inspire our spirits, treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. The distillery became one of the few women-owned craft spirits production sites in the U.S. From our award-winning spirits of vodka and rum to delicious gin, we're always coming up with some new and exciting flavors to keep your cocktails delicious and fresh. Proudly distilling out of West Palm Beach, Florida, Lost Harbor Spirits is a true treasure waiting to be discovered. Contact Palm Beach Distillery at lostharborspirits.com to take a tour, or purchase your favorite spirit at your local liquor store.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Text alert! Text alert! I was receiving letter after letter from the IRS.
I got Mike Velati on the phone and I said, Mike, I got a problem.
He took the pressure off my shoulders.
He just made me feel like I had Superman on my side.
Trust me, he's the man to go to.
IRS problems? I'm Mike Velarde, enrolled agent. I can help. My company, Winning Tax Solutions, has always gotten our clients the best possible results. Visit us at winningtaxsolutions.com or call us today.
Since 9 years old, Gina Presser has created enchanting, whimsical art. She conjures pieces from real stories and artistically expresses the feelings had from them. Achieved with Italian papers, paints, flowers, metals, and clays. Her eccentric finishing touch is her glittery diamond dust cascaded across her paintings and pottery. Gina Presser also hosts weekend art camps, teaching adults and children pottery, painting, and jewelry. Her work can be found in multiple staging homes, family Christian bookstores, and in New Jersey boutiques. For more information, Gina can be reached at livinglifeartfully@gmail.com or by phone at 954-857-5444.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
That is funny.
We're running out of people. You saw that? One clapper.
One clapper.
One clap and they ran out.
That was funny. The TV sort of going like zzz.
That has to do with retrograde.
Everything has to do with retrograde.
You know, I don't even want to move.
So our crew went out today on a 3-hour tour to the dollar store.
How was Gilligan's Island?
It was good. Good.
And you come back and tell.
Yeah.
You come back and tell me that you were stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
I could walk to the store from here.
Animal crossings. It's probably like that time of year because it's fall.
The cows were crossing Federal Highway apparently.
Everything's what?
Everything's ready for harvest. We crossed cows, some chickens.
What are you, a farmer?
I could have been today, but you know, stuff happened.
Did you find a pumpkin patch?
It was an adventure.
It was an adventure. So what'd you guys get? I see a skull.
Well, we went on a hike to get Freddy's spider webs. And that's what took so long. But we got them. And the lobby and Studio A is decorated.
But wait a minute. Let's get back to
Freddy Spiderwebs.
Where did you? First of all, where did you go? Did you go in a cave? Where did you go to get these spiderwebs?
We went right down the road toward Good Pals at the Dollar Tree, and they were cleared out. They were almost all out of their Halloween items, and they had no spider webs whatsoever. But we found some skulls. We thought that was up Freddy's alley.
That looks.
And then we saw these pretty leaves, and we thought of Dawn because they'll carry over through Thanksgiving, and they're pretty for our tables.
They match the orange and the red that Stacey just did in these paintings.
And we that was a
That's even better.
Nice hat that we picked out for you.
I'm gonna tell you, you and I were gonna have a little meeting. I hate spiders.
Your mom's saying, Freddie, it's okay.
No, my mother used to say, don't go up there. I go, why, Mom? There's a lot of spiders up there.
It's okay, Freddie. You're going to be okay, Freddie.
So let me get this right. So this particular spider that you found, which
Little
is
Miss Muffet?
petrified, brought out all the spider webs. Where'd you get? Did you find spider webs?
We found our spider webs, but we had to then go down the street and go further to
On the spider web.
Tarjay came in with our spider webs.
Oh, so you went to Tarjay to get spider webs?
Correct.
We knew we could not come back without the spider webs.
Yeah.
Could not come back empty-handed. So we've got leaves, we've got a skull, and we've had a month until Halloween. And apparently, Alana, you'll have to come for Halloween. She has set up a week of Halloween here.
As long as the crew doesn't fail me, everybody has. I reminded Slick when we were passing through the costume section in Target.
Make
saw
sure.
This big taco that I said, totally be a taco.
Yeah.
Slick, you should have gotten it. You could have been Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday, yeah, most definitely. Because I mean, I don't mind being a taco, but like I got to get my costumes in order for that Halloween that
We have different themes throughout the week, so it should be fairly easy to be able to search through your closet. So it's not too hard. It's not like you have to go and buy a costume for each day.
True.
Taco Tuesday.
Hopefully.
When are we starting this week of costumes, by the way?
We still have plenty of time. I mean, we haven't even hit October yet. We're just a little excited around the studio. But it's going to be the week before Halloween, since Halloween falls on a Sunday this year. So we're usually not in the studio on Saturday, Sunday, so it'll be that week before Halloween.
The week before. And I heard that the two of you are going to be taping a segment right after the show. Because we have somebody that's coming in tomorrow as a relationship coach. Oh, no.
The word that I got in the back was that Freddie and Dawn were going to have the pleasure of
No,
doing
our
this.
agents
That's
called.
exactly
They
what I
won't
heard
allow
as
us.
well.
They won't allow us to do it.
You know what? I think Jeremy and Anna on the board right now,
Yeah.
I think they were the ones who were excited to run the skit.
Yes, we have a relationship coach coming in tomorrow. And she wrote a whole script as to how we should communicate with each other.
I don't talk like that.
I know.
Oh, dear.
Yes, honey,
Oh,
whatever
dear.
you want
Yes,
is what
right. That ain't happening. And I told her if I can talk like a Bronx guy, she says, oh, absolutely not. Well, that deal's over.
So that'll be fun tomorrow. A lot of
Yes.
things.
Are we doing that?
Yes, you
I
are.
don't know about that. We'll have to see.
I see.
You-
Is that
No, not for me.
Is that
for
a
you,
spider
the
in your
script.
pocket?
Me? Yes. No, I'm just.
You're
happy to
gonna
see
do
you.
it. We're gonna tape it today. I
Not
want
at
you
all.
to.
I don't know who's giving you the information of me doing this.
Alana gave it to me.
Alana, I have to tell you,
It was a
last
hard
year
pass.
the
You know what she
cauldron,
did?
the cauldron barely made it in last year by Halloween, and this year it's in a month early, so that's pretty good.
That's pretty nice.
Only
What?
for you. The cauldron barely made it in last year for Halloween.
Do you know that cauldron, we put water in it and we put hot
Dry
ice in it?
Yeah.
And so it was smoking, right?
Very spooky.
It got stuck to the table.
Oh boy.
The whole table got moist slick, is all I can tell
Oh
you.
yeah.
It
There's
was a
a lot of
slick
moist
table.
stuff happening around this time.
Got to figure out what we're doing for Halloween this year.
We should buy a smoker. Put the smoker inside the cauldron.
Okay.
Smoke
so that
machine?
it smokes out of the cauldron. Smoke
Yeah,
machine.
Smoke machine. Just smoke machine.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Only thing is that it won't be bubbling. Do they sell like a bubbling machine that does that?
Or we just get dry ice and keep pouring water.
No,
That's
I'm
what
not
we do.
doing that
They
again.
kept bringing me buckets of water. You know, for 2 hours, how many buckets of water you have to
Yeah,
go
that's a
through?
lot.
Me and Elphaba from Wicked, they're pouring water. And the Tonys, I'm just
And it
pouring
got
water.
very messy over here. I got my shoes wet. I felt like there was ice in my ears. I don't want to do
A lot
that.
of moist. A lot
But
of
we're getting
moisture
ready
up
for
there.
Got to find a pumpkin patch. I've been in Illinois. They must have
True.
great pumpkin patches.
Oh, yeah, they do. There's a pumpkin patch on Glades Road?
Well, it's a church that they sell pumpkins, but it looks like a pumpkin.
On Glades?
A Boca pumpkin patch.
Boca pumpkin patch, exactly. Usually in a parking lot at the churches or the high schools, there's a pumpkin patch. And then when that's done, they put the Christmas trees up.
Yes.
Which we have coming this year, I understand.
Yeah, we're working
Much
on
taller
a
this year.
pretty big tree.
16
I gotta
foot?
call him. That's
We
what I
have the
asked him
room.
for. I don't know who's gonna get up there to decorate it, but the ladder's out.
The 2 Jewish girls in here apparently are going to be
Yeah,
decorating the
you
Christmas
said you're not
tree
afraid
this
of
year.
heights. No, Freddie said he's not afraid of heights. He's gonna get on the 16-foot.
To do the tree? I'll
Yeah.
do it. Listen.
You can stand on his shoulders. You'll reach the top.
And what are we
Oh,
going to have
yeah.
Israel make? What was that?
Coquito.
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 You'll have to come back for that too, Stacey.
For sure.
For sure. We've now, taught her about Lost Harbor spirits.
Oh, we have a lot of spirits to teach you about.
Oh, and Steve Gubb is coming in this week. He'll be here
Yes.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Oh, you
from
gotta meet this
Gubba
guy.
Rum.
Beautiful.
Gotta meet him.
Steve Gubb.
He's an inspiration in itself.
Oh,
in
yeah?
the flesh.
In the flesh. I saw it yesterday on television, Stand and Deliver. Remember Stand and Deliver?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
See, I knew she would
Edward
remember
James
that.
Olmos.
That's right, almost.
Yeah.
He was almost Edward James.
Almost.
But anyway, have you seen Stand and Deliver?
I'm sure a long time ago.
It's about the teacher, and you remember? Yes or no?
Yes.
You remember it?
Yes.
Do you remember that his message was never stop, and he kept going, and when it looked bad, he kept going? Do you know, when I saw that movie, it created my philosophy for coaching.
Really? Keep
I
going.
was saying words for words in the movie. So Linda was watching me. She says, "What is wrong with you? How do you remember this movie?" That movie was what I base all of my philosophies on, teaching anything and never stopping and keep going and keep going. And they had a Piragua man in the movie.
Did they?
2 of them.
Got to keep going.
So I stopped it. I was going to take a picture of it, but my stupid TV wouldn't work right. And I was going to show Slick. Piragua was one time in a little white cup.
It was?
Yep. And then they made it the cone.
I'm just trying to figure out how you did not get in. I mean, you did get inspired in the heights because, like, so much energy from Piragua, from them singing fiestas like every 2 days, because they have, like, I'll say those I don't know what they're called. You know the names of them. It's a Latin name for, like, everybody coming together and just dancing. Like, I felt like me watching In the Heights. I kind of
By the time I got to the Heights, Slick,
yeah,
it became the cocaine city
oh
of the
my
universe.
gosh, here with the negative
And law
energy.
enforcement. I got into law enforcement in the Heights. First,
Yeah.
I was driving a van with about 500 senior citizens in it, and they all had
I'm
bats.
scared if he's driving like this, though.
I was. It was a big van.
Okay.
And I used to drive this van around, and we used to pick up people who were coming out of supermarkets and they were elder, and they had to be taken home. And the cops knew about us, and we drove around in the Heights, and then we lost funding. We ran out of money because somebody had to pay for the gas, right? So I became an auxiliary up in the Heights. So I was on the other side of good times up in the Heights. That's why I don't have
those nice
stories.
memories.
I don't have
You
those
should write
memories.
a book, or you should have Stacey do your memoirs.
Yes.
Shorthanded. That way nobody knows how to read it, Stacey. It'll be the book nobody can read.
Harry, have you ever written a book?
No, I haven't.
Or your memoirs?
He's lived the book.
Or written your memoirs, or taped any of your memoirs?
I've had a lot to tell, but I've never told it. Maybe I should.
I think
You
it's
should.
time.
I've got plenty of time.
Well, I would love, and I'm going to just supersede you on this one. If you would tell your memoirs, we would love to record them.
Really?
Is that okay with you?
That's great.
And not just that, but he has photographs from the war, World War II, and you can talk about each of the photos that you took.
Absolutely.
And that
I
would
would
be
be
a
honored.
visual.
Glad to do it.
If you would have us do it.
We should do the original Heroes
There's only
segment.
500,000 of us left out of 3 million World War II soldiers.
There's still
Mhm.
500,000 left?
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
Well, it's a story that needs to be recorded. It's a
Agreed.
story that needs to be shown. You'd be surprised when you put this thing together as a series. the people that are going to approach you to put this on the air. And you can package this however you want, inspirationally.
I was so young, 18 years old. What did I know? Just when?
We have a picture of Harry at boot camp. He brought his pajamas, and we have a photograph. You look like a baby.
Where were you living at the time? Where were you based? Where were you when you left? I guess you went overseas?
Where did
Are you
go
originally from New
overseas?
York and then you went?
Overseas, I went to England, France, and Germany. All three of them.
In what service?
I was in the military police, and then I was a motorcyclist in convoy work.
Wow.
Under General Pat.
Was that the Army?
That's the Army.
You were a motorcyclist on General Patton's staff?
No, not on the staff. I convoyed his tanks.
On motorcycles?
A motorcycle.
On motorcycles?
Motorcycle.
Yeah, I was a motorcycle on a Harley Davidson 45.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Think about the stories he has to tell that I would love to record, and I know it's near and dear to your heart as well.
It's
There
true.
was one time where I went into a German house and took a pillow and put it on my saddle because it was very sore and very bumpy roads. And my captain absconded with it.
Oh.
I never forgave him.
You were 18.
18, I came out at 21. I was overseas 2.5 years.
Unbelievable. Germany,
a
France,
baby.
England.
Just a baby.
Totally.
But it makes a man out of you soon and fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because Dawn's dad was here one night, and he was telling me different stories about how he got ranked, your father. And it's amazing because...
That was for Vietnam, though.
For Vietnam. Because I had a lot of family that went to Nam. But your father, it was so vivid when he he's another one that we should record, because all of these stories have significance. It has a tale to tell. It's exactly what you're in the process of doing with your life right now. And these stories are, I told my sons, they had a 98-year-old grandmother, two of them. And I asked them one day to take a recorder and just let her talk. Forget about writing it, just recording. And they never did. And to today, they still say to me, you know, you were right. You should record history, because those that don't read it will repeat it. And if it didn't work the first time, I guarantee you it's going to happen again and again and again. So you have plenty for us to learn.
Yes.
No matter how much you think it's very simple and you're young. Kids nowadays, I can tell you something, it's hard being a kid today.
I just don't think we've learned a lesson yet.
We have not. We have not. And we continue to make the same mistake, except that it's costing us more and more today than it did back in the day. And I laugh because they fool around that I'm the old guy in here, I'm the oldest guy in here, and we talk about those days. But those days taught us how to act and behave today.
How to react.
The pressures that they are under is tremendous. Tremendous. You know, I see my son yesterday, and I held him and my grandson, and I don't see my kid for weeks at a time, because he's under so much pressure to try to make it a go, to try to get to where they got to go. And I look at them, and it's the same thing. But they're going to have the bigger challenge, because they're going to have to be the teachers of tomorrow. And I think that we should record him in sets.
Would love to.
And put it in sessions and package it and put it out.
You've seen the show The Crown. I saw that queen when she was 16 years old at Piccadilly Circus, when she was driving, I think it was an ambulance, whatever it was, and she came right through.
That's amazing.
And she's still the queen.
She's still the queen.
And she's still there.
Still there.
She was 16. What stories?
I tell you.
What did you do for a career?
I was in the automotive business. I manufactured automobile parts for General Motors and Ford, and also for these local auto parts stores. they carried our products.
What stories? Wow. I would love that. It'd be a great piece to do. And you know what? Then you have it. And Stacey, then you have it.
Yes.
And your family has it all recorded.
Right.
To share it. And then when you record it, and Stacey can do her magic.
That's right.
I'm sure that.
And create artwork out of
Right,
it.
create an artwork piece out of it.
That's a point.
You see?
Yes.
And that's called inspiration.
There's a lot of it here.
Right, right.
You know, I've asked Dawn to bring her parents up, and it's difficult for them to get around. But that game plan that we're talking about right now, I had that 6 years ago when I first met them. Because they have stories, and they have history, and they have a past. You know, I don't have all of that anymore. I remember I took my father to dinner before he died, and he was telling me about his mother and how much land his mother owned in Puerto Rico. You got to go to the beach and back. It was tremendous, the amount of property that they owned. And I said, what happened? And he started to explain with the Santori name and everything else. Remember that I show you the brand and the wine and all that. It's a tremendous opportunity to have, but you got to take advantage of that opportunity. So I'm all in. We'll set this thing up. If he can do multiple sets, because he has a lot of history to talk about.
Yep.
And we're filling the
he lives
blank.
close enough.
That's right.
Little triangle.
Too close.
Come over as much as you want. Coffee, vodka, we got you covered.
Got it.
I even gave him a real glass today.
That was nice of you.
At 97, you can have anything you want, Harry.
You ain't lying about that.
It's about time.
See that? Got to hang out here more often. Pretty
Good
nice,
stuff,
huh?
Good stuff.
All right, let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up on this Mercury Retrograde Monday, but it's all coming to fruition. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
When your property suffers from water, mold, fire, or biohazard, you need a professional remediation company that is fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Rescue Clean 911 offer 24/7 emergency service with 1-hour response times now in your area. Water, mold, fire, biohazard. Call now 1-833-253-2699.
Handling the hard jobs with a soft touch.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Attention Florida residents. Is constant water damage from the elements putting holes in your pipes and your wallet? We cut the cost when disaster strikes. You deserve to have your house be a home again. At Triumph, we get you paid the most for your insurance claims. Broken pipes, water damage, and mold? Triumph Consulting covers it all. Call our offices now to qualify for a free house inspection at 954-669-4935 or visit www.wegetYouPaid.com.
AMP2 TV and WWNN Money Talk Radio have been in conjoint business for over 10 years. They have been working around the clock nonstop to promote over 500 shows and businesses reaching all over South Florida. With added platforms such as social media live streaming, podcasts, and the specialty of live radio, it has never been easier to get your voice heard by millions of listeners. To amplify your impact and start your show today, contact AMP2 TV at 866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Exactly. That should be a new rule we have, by the way.
Hey, look, we got a whole.
Almost.
That ended abruptly.
You almost got it.
You got to stretch it out. Just let it run.
You almost got it.
Good. So, Twin Donut was here on Friday. I just found out that some people just they drink the
Mini
liquor
donut world, yeah. Some people just want the
and they don't eat the donut. New rule. You got to eat the donut if you want the liquor. You can't just eat the liquor and leave the donut.
I'm loving that steno pad. Let's pass it. You have to show it because this is the coolest thing, Stacey. This is a canvas that has been created to look like a steno pad with Freddie's coffee stain and everything on it. How cool is that? This is just absolutely amazing. So this is here for future inspiration.
Future. Ooh, the ship is on the deck.
And she knew. More to come.
It's really
a lot more to come. So we're going to put this together, Harry. You'll let us know when you want to come in, and we'll set you up in studio.
Yes.
And we'll start recording some pieces.
Yes. And I'll scan all of the photographs.
That way we can have a point of reference of what.
Right. Of Harry in his pajamas.
Unbelievable. Did you have brothers or brothers that went also? Just you.
Single child.
Wow.
You volunteered or you were drafted?
I was at Boston University as a sophomore, and I was in the ROTC, which is Reserve Officers Training, which gave me points and credits, and they called us in. And that was the end of my schooling until I came back under the GI Bill.
Oh, so they just took you?
Just took us.
He was in ROTC?
Come on.
What year? What year was that?
1940, February 1943.
That was at the end of World War II, right? That ended in 44? 45.
Right in the middle of it.
Well, that's when we got involved in it in 40. Oof. Oh, so you saw some hairy things up in Europe.
Yes.
So we get to look forward to recording that. Stories to be told.
Wow, there's we could take it right from there. You know, my family, my uncles were all lifers in the army.
Really?
Yeah, my uncle Salvador, may he rest in peace. The army could not get rid of him. He served in the military, and they said to him, "You got to go home." He was 50-something. You got to go home. He says, "I ain't going home. This is the only home I know." He was in Nam. He was everywhere. So they gave him a store in Virginia. And they said, "We want you to man this post." Because, you know, he was already. So he thought that the army was in the store. So he stayed in post in the army. And we have shirts. I had shirts from him. I have pictures. But he thought that he was in Nam in the store. It was
The
like.
stories. Did you keep up with anyone that you knew from then?
No, not at all. When I got out, that was the end.
That was it. Are you from Boston?
Yes.
Then you got to come this week and meet Steve Gubb. He's coming in from Boston. Where's he from? Worcester?
Really?
I don't know.
I
North
think he's
Boston.
in Worcester, right?
Where is he from? Where are you from in Boston? Yeah.
I was, Worcester. Yeah.
He don't know. He's only from Boston.
That's
I
where
always
Steve's
get
from,
it
though.
wrong. I was an implant from Boston, but basically I was in Rockland in Foxborough, and
that's where
I
the
stayed some
football
time in
stadium
Southie too. Sometimes in
You were
Southie.
down there where the football stadium was?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So like when
You
I
went to
had
the games?
No, when I had to leave for work. But I did go to the games. But when I had to leave for work, like they closed down Foxborough. Like Foxborough gets closed down for the games
Oh, because of the crowds?
because the crowds come from Connecticut, Vermont. It's New England.
Gillette Stadium,
Everybody
right?
goes into everybody goes to the stadium.
You know who Gillette Stadium is, right?
Yes,
You
it's
know
a
those
razor.
portable white razors?
Yeah.
That's what I
The
figured.
blue razors?
Who was the hot guy that did like the Gillette commercials?
Joe Namath.
Yeah, that's what I think of.
Joe Namath is hot.
Well, back in the day, Joe Namath was.
He lives
you
here in
know.
West Palm. You want to meet him?
Back in the day, Joe Namath was Joe Namath. I know. What can I tell you?
Joe was white. He used
You
to have
think
the big.
football, I
Back in
think
his
Joe
peak-
Namath. It's
back
all
in his
good.
peak years.
He had the big
was-
fur coat. Remember that?
Oh,
Joe
right.
Namath
Did you open
with,
it up?
With Farrah Fawcett.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he date?
Noxzema commercials.
Noxema.
You were talking about the original Noxema commercial. Remember
They
from
didn't
Farrah
believe
Fawcett?
me, and they looked it up on YouTube. And there he was, with his
That's
big
right.
nostrils.
Yep.
He has a big nose.
Let Noxema cream your face.
That's right. Wow, you even know the words. Wow, you remember stuff
I'm
from...
ashamed to know those words. I'm ashamed that I just said those words.
No, that's keeping things straight in the back.
Retro. When is your birthday, Stacey?
November 20.
Oh, you have one coming.
Okay.
We got to have people jump out of cakes in here.
Lots of cakes.
Lots of cakes.
Most
We're going to call
definitely.
J&D and do a special thing.
We should.
November
We
14th?
should. Yes.
Going to feel, maybe we can have Stacey come and do a little
As a matter of fact, it's
art exhibit.
official. We
What?
got the official word that we are doing the deed on November 14th
Okay.
in Atlantic Avenue. Now,
Save the date.
save the date because you better be there. If you're not there, I'm going to
Oh,
be
I have
really,
something to
really
do
Puerto
November
Rican
14th.
and very upset.
I have something to do.
I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear I can't. I don't want to hear it. I will be deaf to all of that white noise.
But I'm excited because it's a celebration of education brought to you by Roots and Wings and Shamrock Restoration Services. They are the flagship sponsor of this event, and it's for kids. And proceeds of this go back into our school system to give our kids and the extra teachers after school funding to get our kids up to reading level, to try to get them where they need to be. On a regular day, some of our kids in these Title I schools are lagging, but after COVID in a year and a half, they're really lagging. So this is to benefit the kids, to bring forward the arts. There's going to be crafts, hanging ornaments on the Christmas tree. We've got music coming. And maybe if we ask Stacey really nicely, she'll come and maybe do a little bit of art with the kids.
I'll try.
Walmart has donated crayons and markers and paper to give these kids something to do. Jay Harmon's going to be there teaching them sketching.
Okay.
So maybe we can swap.
He's fabulous. Yes, his work is awesome.
So he's going to be there working with the kids because he teaches art to these kids after school.
Well, we're also going to launch a new platform for us there. It's going to be a television type of deal because I'm trying to work a deal to put this on the CW to come out.
Okay.
We'll see how this works out. But there's going to be a TV truck there. Okay. We're going to have, the media is going to be there. We are going to try, Gio's coming in 3 days early. We're going to try something we've never done before on this particular shoot. So it's going to be all hands on deck. We're still trying to figure out the ins and the outs on this thing. I need measurements. Have you ever seen me take a measurement? I got a little wheel.
I've never seen you this quiet.
No, I'm telling you, this is going to be, it's going to be on radio as well. So it's going to be an interesting combination, yeah.
Save the date, November 14th. You and I know that day well. You are a Scorpio, kind of. You're right on the cusp.
Yes.
She's right there.
I know, it's my dad's birthday, your dad's birthday, and your son's birthday.
Yep, I know. Big day.
Big day. Scorpion, huh?
That's right.
She's tough.
My first wife was a Scorpion.
I knew he was going to go to something like that. I knew it. He always, yes.
Know it real well. The Scorpions, I can tell you.
Pisces, huh?
I'm going to tell you, a fish has no business with that, you know that thing that the scorpion...
A stinger?
The tail.
The stinger?
It will sting you in a quick beat. Say less.
Say less. You have to control the situation.
Oh, no.
Mr. Magoo over here, his birthday's on Sunday, so don't think that's going uncelebrated.
This Sunday?
Yep.
Happy
I thought Mr. Magoo was the following.
October 3rd.
October 3rd, yeah.
Oh, you see, you weren't going to say nothing, huh?
No, I was going to keep it quiet.
I think we should give you a bachelor party.
No, I mean, I can keep it quiet.
October 3rd, Alana, so you got to decide. I guess we'll be celebrating on October 4th.
Yeah, I'll keep it quiet.
Because, you know, we can't do it without Alana here. And she's not here on Friday. So, surprise is coming. She's thinking already.
I'll keep it quiet.
Slick, you're going to be what, 25?
No, I would be like, yeah, thank you for saying 25. You know, he just made me, thank you.
Going a little bit
I'm
up.
going to be 25, guys.
He hits the 30?
No, he's not 30.
29?
25.
28.
No, we
28?
25.
Lies.
Thank you.
You're going to be 28?
28, yeah.
Yeah.
I think after 25, I feel 30.
I think after 30, we just stay
I
hold.
feel 30 every, yeah.
Oh, please. You know what?
Then I thought 45. Stacey, what number would you like to hold at?
I'm just thrilled that I'm here, that I'm here with you guys.
So are we.
Age is nothing but a number.
That's true.
Look at Harry. God
And
bless
it's
you.
better than the
Oh, yeah,
alternative.
true. Most definitely.
I second that.
The fact.
You know, wine gets more expensive and tastes better as it ages one day after the other.
Oh, so I'm like
after the
fine
other.
like wine right now.
A fine wine, Slick.
Oh, you're going to be joining the ranks next year of the fine wine. You know, everybody would look at you and say, "You're an old man at 30."
Wow. Thank
You
you.
got some time
Thank
until
you.
that. So more to
Thank
come.
you.
Happy anniversary to Marissa and Dorian. So today's their anniversary. Going to ask me who that is?
Yeah.
That's Alana's mother and Dorian, her stepdad.
Oh, I knew that.
7 years.
Thank you for telling me.
7 years. Congratulations to Mara, our OG intern. We call her Soprano. She got engaged over the weekend. So a lot of stuff
Congratulations,
going on.
because somebody had a baby.
And congratulations to our good friend, dear to our heart, Heather. I still go by Wright. Also, Wright is her married name. She had a beautiful baby girl. So congratulations to you. One of our OGs, one of our first sponsors ever,
That's
6
right.
years ago.
That's right. She was the first.
Yep, she's
Wow.
near and dear to our heart.
She was the first.
I know.
Wow.
Remember, she touched you and said
All right, moving on.
all of that.
Moving
Not
on.
like that
Moving
touch,
on.
but
No,
anyway.
she told me to go to
touch?
the doctor. She says it's time.
So congratulations, lots of congratulations all the way around. More to come. Harry's going to come in. We are blessed to have him share his story. Stacey's going to be joining us. Stacey,
Yes.
these pieces are beyond words. You guys just have to come and see these. Totally, you have touched me. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harry. Thank you so much. You guys, good to have you back from your 3-hour tour.
No problem.
Anna and Jeremy, all I can say is wow. They've run how many shows? 3 shows? 4
3 shows back
today?
to back to back.
So great job, everyone. We will see you tomorrow. Lots going on tomorrow. 9 a.m. drive time. Have a great day. Be kind to each other.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
All right.
And there's the end.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save her. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors. Just a ray of light, bathing me in drops of ink that glaze across my body. Wish you could unfreeze my heart and we